Hi, I'm Josanne Wright Callender, the author of the Happy Little Garbage Truck picture book and educational system. And we've been talking in these past few weeks about interception activities, the activities that we can use to help our children become more in touch and in tune with their inner senses. And this is all of these talks are leading to how we can guide our children into being able to articulate what's happening inside regarding their feelings. And there are a lot of other parts of interoception that we'll talk about later on, but in particular, feelings and being able to know how one is feeling inside is a huge activity for children to be able to access because it's part of building self-esteem. Um, they can actually, when they can articulate these feelings, they can actually get on sort of like ahead of what's happening because they know what's going inside is leading to a specific type of feeling, and anger in particular is one that one can get on top of and take care of before it gets to tantrums or deregulation. And so that's why I think this particular activity is really important in learning these interoceptive skills. Um, when a child has a high level of energy, we can say that this child is an active child. And I think every child has a constant. Some have a higher level of energy, some have lower level of energies, but we want in this activity for a child to be able to determine how they're feeling inside by energy levels. So, for instance, if you could ask a child, is it easier for you to, could you wait for your turn or do you want your turn like immediately? And this one activity, interoception activity manual that I was looking at had the child being asked the question. But I think that as a teacher or parent, you can pretty much tell how your child behaves or will behave given a situation like waiting for their turn, or can they wait for their favorite treat to be created, or will they, just want to dive in and have it, you know, at instantaneously. I know because I was that type of child too. I just wanted everything immediately, and that ability to wait or delay gratification seemed to be like an insurmountable task. But I've learned patience over the years. However, this isn't about me. It's about telling a child how they are feeling inside. And I think if we can relate back to our own experiences, it actually gives you some compassion for what your child is going through. So another way is by finding photos that represent how they might be feeling inside. I saw one example of using a volcano for when a child is really having anger start to build under the surface, or race cars for showing that their engine is burning really fast, or balloons for when they're feeling calm and peaceful, or it could be clouds. So pictures and photographs are really great ways to have your child get in touch with how they might be feeling inside. Another way is energy charts, and I made a very crude one. I had to apologize, but I thought about this as one of the ways. In our classroom, we had like this is sort of like a pie chart, and when the child is feeling fairly good about where they are, I would say that we would turn our chart to point to green. And if they are feeling a little um, low energy or beginning to feel a little bit out of sorts, yellow could be sort of like our warning. So between yellow and green, if they're feeling fairly good and not super good and not, so, it could be, even kind of a little bit towards the green. However, when the engine is starting to get a little bit higher, it could go to the orange or warning sign. And if they're feeling angry or the energy level is super high, it could go to the red. So in our classroom, we used a chart similar to this, not exactly, but it was like a thermometer, and it had the red part and the white part of the ribbon showing that the temperature is going higher or lower. But when we saw that the child actually could identify, and sometimes we would have to identify that energy level for the child till they were able to do it themselves, we would use that to show that there's been a shift in energy, and then verbalize this to the child and quickly use an intervention such as blowing the candle and smelling the flower that we talked about before to get the deep breathing going. And then as we saw that the child was de-escalating and becoming more in control of how they were feeling, we would bring the chart back and say, "Oh, I see that you're feeling a little calmer now. Are you more like in the yellow area or are you in the green area?" And then they could, they might even be just a little bit more towards not exactly escalated, but still feeling agitated. And so we would continue the blowing out the candle and smelling the rose or the flower. So you could do energy levels from a 0 to 10, say with a vertical thermometer. I found some Avery labels you could make your chart using, and then a red. I didn't have a red, but you could use a chart and the child could just point to it and with color that represents their feeling inside. But making it portable is a great idea because that's sometimes outside of the regular environment is when most of these behaviors might start to become apparent because the child's in a different environment. There are a lot of stimulations around them. And so I just think that it's good to start that dialogue, have a visual that the child can relate to, and then you're actually building that inner understanding of how they are feeling inside. So until next time, I'll see you later. Bye bye.